Well, let's focus on our first corporate then, Balrampur Chini. They announced their foray into polylactic acid manufacturing with an estimated investment of around 2,000 crore rupees, which will be between debt and internal accruals over the next 2.5 years. To discuss this, we have Avantika Saraogi, the Executive Director, Balrampur Chini Mills, who joins us on the show. Hi, Avantika. Congratulations, first of all. Some part of the street was wondering what you're going to do in terms of diversification. Now you have laid out this plan. I wanted to understand a few more details. A rough math suggests that polylactic acid prices are in that vicinity of around 200 to 300 rupees per kg. You're looking at setting up a 75,000 ton unit. So revenue from this particular capex will be approximately 1,500 to 2,000 crores. Should we be working with that number at the end of this 2.5 years? And also a couple of brokerage notes are mentioning that EBITDA margins will be around 20%. Do these numbers fit in?
So thank you so much, Prakash, for having me on the show. The thing is that I'm not at liberty to discuss the financials because we haven't got a board approval for that. But having said that, your pricing is not wrong. So possibly you could be in the right direction is what I can say. Should I talk a little bit more about why polylactic acid? Would that sort of answer some of the...
Please go ahead. Yes, please go ahead. Avantika, so just to confirm, you're saying that we are on the right path. This is Nigel on this side. Revenues in the vicinity of around 1,500 to 2,000 crores. So we got that correct. And margins of close to around 20% as well, right? Those numbers are in the broadly correct?
The second part I cannot say. The first part, I think, broadly correct.
Okay. All right. And you want to tell us about, what is the global size? I think it's around 400,000 tons or thereabouts. Tell us what's the opportunity and how much are you all looking to get into that?
So we are setting up a large industrial scale plant of 75,000 tons. This is the global level size. So we should have all the advantages there. Other than that, I want to talk about an additional advantage that we have that possibly the other players don't. So we are setting up this unit in adjacent to one of our existing sugar units. So we save a lot in terms of transportation. And also the biggest silver bullet I think that we have is that we have our own bagasse for power. So not an ounce of gas or coal or oil of any kind that the other players are obviously using at this moment. So possibly we would have an advantage in terms of ease of doing business as well as financially, as well as even we should be the greenest in my opinion, but this time will only tell. So 75,000 tons, the market right now is 300 to 400,000 tons, but this is not even 1% of total plastic consumption in the world. So the headroom is immense, is what I would say.
Right. Avantika, hi, good morning. Thanks for joining us and good to see you here on the channel. Prashant this side. Now, could you tell us a couple of things? One is, are there other alternates to plastics? Apart from polylactic, because I mean, there's a lot of work happening on the technology side to kind of, bring about sort of biodegradable material and move away from plastic. So, is this one of the many things which we will see over the next few years, or this is it? That is one. And second, I think the cost is higher, much higher as compared to plastic. So, how will we, in terms of industry sort of adoption and offtake, there's a big difference in terms of price. Possibly it will keep coming off, but what's your own sense?
So thank you so much for the question. I think these are the two main questions that everybody must have in mind. So firstly, I'll answer your question about, is this the only bioplastic or is this the only solution for, the war against plastic, if I may add? I think not. I think there cannot be any one answer to a problem of this size, but polylactic acid is one of the largest bio-based and biodegradable plastics being made in the world today. It is industrially proven. And the beauty of it is that as many bioplastics that develop, there are more recipes that develop. So we can take advantages from different things and, you can make compounds which answer the problem of that particular usage. For example, I would say that if we want a marine degradable product, PLA is firstly the cheapest bioplastic, right? So it is great to be the base, and then you add in maybe a PHA or an additive or something, and then you get a marine degradable product. Supposing you want something that home composts. Similarly, you would make a recipe like this. You could blend in PBAT. So PBAT is very stretchy and PLA is very rigid. So when you're trying to make a carry bag, you need the carry bag to be able to handle some weight, right? So it has to have some strength. So when you mix PBAT with PLA, suddenly both of them become better. So this is what I want to say. PLA is one of the largest and it is the cheapest, and it will
Got
be
it.
used, I think, as a filler in most of the things, like 40-50%
Sure.
of used plastics can be replaced with PLA alone.
Got it, got it. Avantika, hi, good morning. This is Sonia here. I just want a couple of more questions. If you can help us with what the average pricing would be per kg and what would that mean for your own margin picture? Also, what are you looking at in terms of, say, an IRR or a payback period? Any kind of numbers that you can share with us on the business?
Hi, Sonia. Good morning. I'm not at liberty to talk about the IRR and the financials, but I want to say that they are positive. I want to say that the pricing of PLA is around, I would say, 250-300 rupees, as already is known by the market. But I want to add in a very important point. When we are trying to firstly compare it to a regular plastic, it is much harder. So you can use much lesser PLA to get the same result as a regular plastic. So already the price becomes attractive because you would use lesser in terms of weight. And obviously it's being sold in terms of weight. So that's one thing. The second thing is, when you talk about a plastic ban, for example, in our country, there's a single-use plastic ban, then you are no longer competing with the traditional plastic. We are now competing with the paper, cardboard, cloth, and all of those glass, all of those things. So when you compare ourselves to that, we are much more viable than that.
Okay. All right. Avantika, just one final question on the demand situation, because, when you transition to things which are 2 times more expensive in a very price sensitive country like India, it generally takes time for demand to pick up. Your quick thoughts on that?
So I just, like what I was already saying, it's not going to work out to be more expensive for the consumer necessarily, because today, anyway, if we talk about single-use plastics, we cannot use them in certain scenarios. So we are competing not against plastic, but against the alternatives of plastic being used to replace it. We are much cheaper. So the viability is much better from there. Plus, when we have already, I think it's already coming up on the screen as well, when the finance budgets have already announced something, some impetus for biomanufacturing, biofoundry, bioplastics have been mentioned, then we expect that the government would also help the journey of creating the demand and, helping with applications.
Okay, all right, Avantika, we appreciate you joining in. It's been read positively, this diversification. You have given us the rationale as well. The number that we managed to get out of you was the revenue potential is around 1,500 to around 2,000 crores approximately. You're looking at a 75,000 ton unit, while the international capacity is around 400,000 odd. Next time, hopefully we'll get some more numbers in terms of the IRR as well as the margin picture. Good to see you in.